A longtime fan favorite of anyone who watched the anime or even played through the GBA or even Medarot 1 all the way back starting from where it all began. It is SAM00 Samurai with a kit of full charge, double beam sword, biped legs, and the leg ability of endurance, which fills his Metaforce gauge upon being attacked by enemies. Now, not gonna lie, Samurai is arguably one of the few Fierce Battle builds I'm going to be rating naturally high because he is a rather solid all-around based fighter with pretty solid stats across the board, pretty high damage potential as well, damage potential and damage base, and he actually can maintain himself very easily with very little assistance from the outside. For that reason, full charge, much like with Cross Messiah or Torito Beetle, it will drain head HP to completely cap out your Metaforce gauge. Highly recommended if you are going to use Samurai for anything. Cap the head at 5-star first, as then it will only drain 50% of the head's HP and not near 90% like it would at 1-star, for instance. Beam Sword is arguably one of the highest base damage melee parts in the game, probably next to Ghost, if not slightly higher because of damage bonuses. But for that reason, Beam Sword, much like Hyper Beam, does get a ×2 damage bonus at 30% and a ×3 bonus at 100%, and it also has pierce damage. So for this very reason, Samurai can make himself a threat on the field from turn 2 onwards, or even just from turn 1 onwards if he chooses to refill his Metaforce manually without using his head. He can maintain himself pretty solidly on the field with very little outside assistance, like I mentioned. His leg ability of endurance is a nice fit as it does give him a little bit of Metaforce sustain, Metaforce charge at the very least. Aside from maybe using a Hunter or Sniper nature metal, it will be a little on the slower end, unfortunately. So the legs won't be particularly fast, but they do complement the build ultimately very easily. For this reason, he is one of the few Fierce Battle sets I will rate rather high at a 7.5 out of 10, maybe even an 8 in some cases, because you can use him just about anywhere. He's got some pretty solid balance, and he can fight by himself without assistance very easily, and he can pretty much serve his own self and become his own threat on the field without anyone really needing to assist him or maybe lead or build him up to that. Aside from maybe buying him a turn to use full charge, and then from there just letting him go nuts. As mixed parts, I would rate him a very solid 8 out of 10. You can use his arms or his head very easily in any kind of Metaforce reliant build. Beam Sword especially, you can use it in any melee based build in particular, but full charge you can use more or less anywhere that needs a Metaforce reliance. That includes laser, beam, hyper beam, beam sword, ghost shot, anything that's Metaforce reliant. Full charge can essentially make use of very quickly, very easily, and get you on the path to very fast nuking from there forward.